Hello, everyone. Welcome to Observer on the 100% illegal stream. The only one on the goddamn internet. As I swear into the microphone. Observer is this interesting game. It's made by the same devs as the Layers of Fear games. Well, game and DLCs. Okay, music stopped. It was being angry at me earlier. And both of their games, and I think they had ones before that, are very much in the vein of survival experiences. Like, I think Amnesia, or even kind of the newest Resident Evil 7, where you are in first person, you are piecing together what the hell's happening in this environment, and you're just trying to survive. But they do it in a twist here where there are survival sections, and then there are detective sections. And the world here is one built around the idea of, like, the Blade Runner-esque style of future shit, of steampunk, but not really steampunk. What's the term for that? It's dystopian. That's what it is. Sorry about that. It's a dystopian future, and that's my jam. I enjoy the hell out of that. Blade Runner absolutely fits into that. Newest movie was alright. And not only do I love that, the dystopian kind of future, but it's kind of gritty, I'm also a huge fan of anything that delves into psychology or psychological affect, psychological horrors. That's not the, it's not the render settings, that's the game looking like it's falling apart.
Lazarski, you there?
Oh boy, that's some sensitivity. Let me just not be that bad.
Come in, Lazarski.
It wasn't me, I didn't do it. Wow, my vision. I need drugs.
Yeah, I'm here.
You okay there? I've been hailing you for the past 5 minutes.
He was told to gargle glass before he did his voice acting work.
How's the dream meter treating you?
Well, I'm not a vegetable yet.
Could have fooled me.
Hardy har.
I'm serious, Dan. Your signal's all over the place. Have you taken your meds?
I'm not sure.
I will, in a moment.
Do it now. I need you in good shape.
Press the middle mouse button to check your status and use synchro meds. I am falling apart. Now there's no like penalty to letting this fall too far, aside from just not being able to enjoy the pretty game. But apparently we have to inject medication so as to allow our implants from killing us.
There you go.
I like that trope.
Already.
Yeah.
It's like early, or prequel Deus Ex games.
Another leech goes berserk.
Don't be like that. It's just...
Yeah.
The voice acting, though. Any work for
What's
me?
this about? Just checking in, or you need me downtown?
Nah, just a checkup. No one left for you to interrogate.
Sounds pretty bad.
Yep, it's not pretty. The explosion leveled half a block. The place is still on fire. Corporate goons all over the place, securing the area.
Covering your tracks, you mean?
Careful what you say. This is a monitored channel.
Who is this? How'd you get this frequency?
How did you get my entire brain's frequency?
Adam?
Yes. Well, what's left of me? Dad.
What happened? Where have you been all this time?
Away from you. It's funny.
Ouch.
Thought it would be easier to hear your voice after all these years. But
Voice acting where it's a little bit subpar.
Come on, Adam, don't start.
I really thought I could pull it off, you know? I was so close to making a difference, to setting us all free. And now it's
Doesn't matter. Tell me where you are. I'll come and get you.
Shit. Dad. For once in your life, just listen to me. Whatever happens, I need you to remember, you're not in control.
Adam, can you hear me? You still there? Adam. God damn it.
Dad? Dad?
Matriarch, display caller ID.
What are you talking about?
Now.
Nobody called me.
Krabinsky. That's no.
Oh, we called through. Oh, right. He uses a proxy.
Source of last call.
Triangulating coordinates.
Come on.
Is this a thing detectives are allowed to do?
Tenement building. Class C district.
Use their resources for petty things?
Facts. You just had to hit bottom. Huh?
So yeah, his voice actor is not
Fucking
great.
bottom.
Which sucks though, because I forget what he's been in, but he's a really... He fits right in this environment. It just feels like he either didn't want to show up to work that day, or the contract that he signed says he has to gargle glass before every recording session. So we're very much in dystopia future. Body mods exist. Lots of dirty technology. And it's a bit of a fast start to begin with. Like, we're given tropes as the setting without really sitting on too much with regards to how the world exists. Instead of, we just jump right into the game, and we fill in the blanks on our own as we come across effectively the window dressings. But the setup is incredibly fast. Just, hello, and we are there. Which... I don't hate. It's a fairly low-budget team that puts this stuff together. Layers of Fear was the same. It looked pretty, but they were fairly short games. And they're not the most in-depth entities on the planet. But the ride is fun. And that Twitch games, Twitch Prime gave us this right now, so I figured it would be an interesting time to cover it. And yeah, the very first screen we're met with is just a bunch of completely unnecessary holograms covering everything. And this isn't like a VR overlay we have, this is just how the world works. That wasn't the robot, that was us getting upset at a walking CCTV camera with a vacuum. Because Roombas are just too hard to invent. This is like going so far beyond aesthetic needs. Everybody should just exist in VR.
Need to get out. Easy there.
Excuse you?
I'm not looking for trouble. Oh, tenant. Huh?
Yeah, I live here.
Sort of. Name.
He doesn't even care.
Krabinsky. Leon Krabinsky.
Tenant. Oh, apartment 7. Ground floor. Through the courtyard. Turn right, turn left. Straight ahead, turn right.
Yeah, I got it. Backwards and forwards. Thanks.
Dude, jeez, calm down. Like, that is... I can't say that it gets better, but it's a little forced. It makes sense coming from him, because, like, he's got a brain prosthetic. We find out later on that he was involved in the army. And, yeah. There's only so much that so much plastic you can shove in someone's head and hope to replace what was human. Like, imagine that, you know, Cage, the case study for having a pipe shoved through his prefrontal cortex, and he basically lost a lot of what made him a human being in his personality. Oh, yeah. The angry mouse movement style. We definitely amnesia, boys.
Citizens. Curfew is now in effect in all Class C districts. Remain in your
chosen holographic content. I read a book once that was basically, oh yeah, the world completely fell apart because we invented VR so good. Why do you need to cover the trash can in it? Invented VR so good that nobody ever did anything anymore. Shit, actually, I think there was another one like that where society kind of tried to reset itself, but eventually it got to the point where it realized that... This has got to be my overlay. I'm pretty sure this disappears at some point in the future. I gotta be careful not to move the controller around too much. In fact, I might want to play... If I'm going to be streaming stuff, I want to focus on primarily using a controller. I'll have to watch this back after the fact and find out. Because using a mouse, I tend to dart around a lot. You get used to super high refresh rates. Because you're only using 30 FPS, I wonder what it would look like. So we get a bit of Dark Souls movement around, yeah? We have to unlock the ability to use the stairs and the doors, and... Always so good. It's a real stupid, flavorful intro to this world. Oh wow, I actually lost a bit of my frames there. Am I dropping frames? I am not. Why is there a monster noise already? The hell is making a monster noise? But yeah, that David Cage guy, he survived even though like a bunch of his brain was destroyed in the process. Or not David Cage, just Cage. I forget what his first name is. I want to say Leon, but that's not right. But he lost about a lot of inhibitions. He lost a lot of critical thinking skills. He kind of reverted to just being an animal. I guess nobody wants to let us in. So imagine that, except you replace that any of the necessary functions you need, like, you know, inconstance being replaced with the prefrontal cortex bits. You can't really replace personality. So if you do get brain damage, even in a world where you could survive being shot in the head with a gun because you can stick plastic in that kind of sort of replaces it, there's only so far you can go with that before you're not a human anymore. Or you weren't. I mean, there's a lot of thought experiments to go around there. Oh. The door is just open. So this is his apartment.
What the hell?
Somebody's cell phone?
They're here. They've come for us. Help me. You need to.
A flashlight button that I can press. I think there is. Let me check really quick. Let me see. I don't see any flashlight. Oh, BioVision and EM Vision. E and Q, that's right. Oh, and F for night vision. But we haven't unlocked them yet because they are tutorial related. And then we have to find pills to inject ourselves as the synchronization continues to fall apart. Again, like there's no ups and downs to whether or not that's important. It's just part of the game trying to play on the what is real and what is not kind of thing. I heard the phone over here, right? Or can I sneak underneath this? I cannot. Alright, we're already stuck. End of the Let's Play. Roll credits. Oh, okay. I have to literally physically push the thing back over again. I'm not used to having games that have that much interaction to them. Ha.
Adam? Oh my god.
Abnormal stress level. Heart rate irregular. Administering mild sedative.
Dispatch, this is Lazowski, ID 656210.
I think he'd be used to seeing dead bodies at this point.
Hear me.
Although he thought it might have been his son.
Fucking great. Okay, Dan. Maybe it's not him. Doesn't have to be.
Yeah, it was pretending to be Lazarski.
Efficiency restored.
This is Lazowski 656210, setting up a crime scene.
You need to activate electromagnetic vision.
Pass for connections.
right mouse button.
HN. Gotta start somewhere.
Q to activate biovision. Right mouse button to analyze the objects.
Erratic
The
traffic
object.
pattern,
Doesn't have a head anymore, so it's not a person.
indicating the killer was in a frenzy.
Hmm.
ID check. Failed. Time of death. About an hour ago. Before he called me.
He was already dead. Before he called us. I wonder why. Because it was our son calling us. Why would he need to kill somebody to do so? They have embedded chips in their necks and their heads. That's what allows you to have an ID and call people and whatnot. So, draw your own conclusions there. They still have MacBooks in the future. I like that effect. Like, I imagine the window was probably already shut in the shit that came in here. It's just a artistic expression of stress, overlaid on top of the fact that we have built into our brain a computer that allows us to, as we'll see in a moment, jack into other people's memories so that we can try to interrogate them. So I imagine that's what the effect of that we're going to see throughout the game is, that the pills help to negate, is this idea that there is a bleed over of the VR and the real because of the fact that it is so embedded in our perception that it becomes impossible to separate the two, which is just an allegory to a lot of what we consider real and fake as whatever designations we decide to create in real life. Oh, I can change my vision while I'm holding something.
Controlled substance 45.
I forgot about that.
Better known as feed. You've never touched this, Gwen.
Controlled substance 45. It's called food. Why is there a plastic bag in the oven? The smartest. Oh, and they used a milk carton at the sink to try to organize things. Man, good job. Didn't organize much. Did that just... Yeah, it's just a graphical filter over it. It's blurry as we walk away to try to show that the light's being diffused by the glass in front of it. That's cute. I do remember getting stuck. I mean, this whole section right here is a tutorial when I played the first time through. All of the computers of the future are becoming hybrid tablets. Somebody made an interesting comment that I kind of agreed with. I like fantasy, don't get me wrong, but I have a tendency to absolutely prefer...
Bingo.
No, we gotta figure out what the combination is before we can get into wherever this goes. Oops. Exit. There we go. Right mouse. Don't get me wrong. I like Final Fantasy. I like fantasy games. I like fantasy settings, but generally I prefer science fiction if given the option, or just science in general.
Printed on real paper. A little archaic for you, Adam.
You think this is Adam's room? I hadn't actually read 1984 before I played this game. That's a crazy book. It's more of a horror book than anything else. But fantasy deals with history. It deals with where we've been as humans, both geologically and like governmentally, with regards to just human function and our past. Whereas science fiction tends to be primarily a look into the future and what we're going to be, and to try to postulate the questions we'll have when we get there, so we can maybe have answers when we actually run into the questions. So that's why I love it when things like Owlboy turn from fantasy into science. Like, oh boy, I'm all there. I don't really like how the mouse keyboard works. Playing in a chair like this. It's alright, but it could be better. Alright, we need to continue to scan things to try to find clues. A bunch of blood. Amazing. Where does blood go? Out into the hallway. No contaminants detected. Fail to extract forensic data. Does blood tend to have like markers of some
What are we
sort.
having here? Claw marks.
I know it's necessary for the aesthetic effect, but I'm kind of weirded out by the fact that they decided to put a heart rate. Just the noise of a heart going on whenever you have the biovision open. Ever since I was a kid, a heartbeat has always scared me. I don't want to say scared, but it is an unnerving. Nanophage and I. Excuse me? Is that a kid's book? I forgot what the nanophage was. Oh, there's more.
Refilled.
There's more. Don't go insane. Don't become a vegetable. Alright. Well, we have a number. Maybe that'll work here.
There we go.
How old-fashioned. The ceiling was a workbench all along. Well, this kind of looks like a terrorist's operation. The hell they need this shit for? Oh, that kind of... Oh! Okay, I'm not going to spoil it, but I know what that is. And it makes sense now. I'll point it out when we get there. It'll be at the end of the game. It makes sense, though, why Adam would have been here. Oh, yeah, and computers are just floating screens that you press the buttons on. Listen, I know you're a busy man and all, but we gotta talk now. I think they're onto me. For real this time. For realsies, boy! I'm almost certain someone followed me home yesterday, and I saw, today, this weird guy outside my window just standing there. If you can't guarantee my safety, then I'm out. I got enough problems as it is. So, he's doing something illegal. As far as our little mule goes, don't worry, I can manage her. She's not like us. She knows she's in over her head and is clearly terrified, and this clearly terrifies her. You can't expect too much from a simple mind. For now, just focus on your work and leave the human relations aspect of our project to me. For the time being, calm down and maintain focus. Eyes on the prize. Glad you like the piece. I think it captures the essence of what I'm trying to accomplish. So there's another girl involved. So some crimes are happening. Maybe our son is involved. Tragic accident or an insurgent attack. So yeah, you'd probably end up with a bunch of terrorists in a world like this. Bunch of corrupted documents. Oh yeah.
I've deactivated the apartment security system, leaving the crime scene.
So that's how we get out. Because we do get stuck until we can find the number to unlock the keypad. We need to... Yeah. And that's the rest of that computer. I believe there's more stuff that we can interact with.
Synchrosine. Reef synchrosine collected.
On this table with our different visions, as well as the computer monitors that showed up on the outside. I'm not 100% on that, but it's weird. It's like a vertical server rack, but it's just a motherboard. Just a main board, nothing else on it. Electro EM vision. We can scan the computer. Interact with it from afar, or does it just let us know? Yep. Unlicensed software detected. Was there something in here? Oh, right. Let's see. Can't scan that, and there's nothing up there. So let's move it over to the side. Yeah, let's just spin like a crazy person. That's how that works. I mean, there's like no lore books or anything for this game, so I don't know if it's actually that important that we put an effort into scanning everything we come across. But there's always, Look at this thing! This does not look any different than the microprocessors that we have nowadays. Either the developers wanted to maintain stock assets, or they just didn't think that we would ever end up with something different. Because it basically looked the same since they've been invented, but I imagine it probably would have done them good to embellish a little bit.
Collateral damage or evidence disposal?
Cloud server station. Structural damage detected. The dang thing didn't explode. Can we even scan that? Nope. Just lets us know that the door outside is connected, and also it goes over here so we can unlock the section up there. What the hell? a bunch of pages of glitching stuff, a cat, and a skull face with a cat. Look at those stupid flavor text that's completely useless on, like, some CRT motherfucking monitors. I get if you're trying to run a crime scene and you need monitors, like going to a Goodwill and picking up a bunch of old CRTs would be advantageous, because you don't need, like, high resolution or high fidelity or even good color reproduction or anything like that. You just need a monitor. I just always find it funny when there's so many of them, when LED monitors are so cheap nowadays that those are what are going to end up. Excuse me? The hell was that? Was that the doors being unlocked?
This just doesn't feel right. I'm still alive.
Oh, there's a lockdown. That's right, because we found a body.
Lockdown procedure. There is no need for concern.
That's all the doors locking down.
This is essentially lockdown procedure. There is no need for concern.
Good. The night vision makes it so we don't have to listen to so much goddamn noise. Jeez. I forgot how much of a dynamic range there was to this game. As I walk around and kick birds. Get out of here. What are you doing inside the hallway of an apartment? Who let the goddamn pigeon in? Oh, it's just straight up legit locked up. Can't open it at all. Why would you need fake code floating around? Like, that code is completely vapid. It doesn't mean a thing. Oh, we're not going to try to conduct an investigation? Do I have to try to call somebody first, or? Let's see. I'm going to check something real quick. I am seeing if I can get a few viewers in. Found a headless corpse in an apartment. It might not be him. It can't be. I should search the apartment. Maybe I can find some clues. Oh, I guess I haven't found the clues yet. I need to find the woman who tried to contact the victim. She might still be in the building. Her compass ID was HN. And it might be a good idea to interrogate the local tenants. They might give me some clues as to what happened to Adam. That's what I was trying to do. Interrogating the local tenants.
Come here, quick.
Yeah?
What is it?
What's up with the lockdown? Is it the phage? Was there an outbreak?
Motherfucking neurophage. I wonder, is that related to everybody having implants, or is that a legit medical problem that's spreading? I think it's technology related. Oh man, I'm locked in. If I let go, it'll say I don't know. Oh cool, it doesn't. If I move around, it unlocks it. It's possible. No, it's not the phage. I don't know. We should probably make him feel better.
Malfunction, more likely.
You would
Damn
say
it.
that, wouldn't you? To keep us at bay until the cleaners come. Oh God, they're coming for me. I don't want to die.
Calm down. No one's coming.
It's so stilted. I feel like he could have done a better job with the voice acting on this. Maybe give him another go. Give him a goddamn voice coach or something. I don't know. A holocom panel. Look at that retro futurism. God, that is crazy. It's all just jury-rigged together. Admittedly, this is the stacks, so it's supposed to be as much of a poorhouse as possible. And even then, they still get, like, tech for interacting instead of just a peephole. Like, look at this, like, bullshit jerry-rigged speakers and weird-ass screens found in trash cans.
I need to ask you some questions.
Do you know what's going on? My holo projection got cut off. I can't get a signal.
The building is under lockdown. No external connection. Not much we can do.
Shit.
You better
Sounds
pog
serious.
champ at me.
So, you wanted to ask me something?
Have you two seen this game before? want me to go over how the setup is for it before we continue? Tenant in '07, anything suspicious?
Do you know who lives in apartment 7?
7? I didn't even know anyone lived there.
That sounds like a great
You
place
wouldn't
for
happen to
illegal
know how to fix the
operations.
Connection. Not that it's like super important to me or anything. I just need to know.
You
Oh,
just
this'll
take
piss
it
him
easy.
off.
I'm sure someone is already working on it.
You would say that.
It's just that it feels weird to just sit here, alone, with my thoughts. You know, can you talk to me some more? It makes it kind of easier.
No, you're wasting my time. They've had other lockdowns here before?
Oh, well, it must have been at least 7 or 8
Yeah?
years.
Ever
Voltage?
had a lockdown before?
I don't think so. I don't remember my projector going off. Ever.
Well, what do you want to talk about?
Oh, those are supposed to be
Yeah,
emotes.
you know,
Okay.
Gorski
Guess it's
the
not
Giant
working
was
here.
fighting Killer Cromer today.
I don't know.
AMA fan?
Not
Do you
me.
need a bot for that?
Sounds like you are.
Of course I don't know who won since my projector went out. Why are my hands shaking?
Wow, that is a caricature of a human being.
Sorry, I don't have time for this.
Oh, okay. I understand. It's no problem. I'll just sit here, alone. God, I'm really starting to sweat like...
Hang in there.
Alright. Now that... you know, a lot of people hate public speaking more than death. Well, a lot of people are also fucking terrified of the idea of not being distracted by something, because it forces you to be alone with your thoughts. Meditation is quite literally doing. Twitch, I have no idea. I mean, the emotes that work are there, but I don't... Honestly, I have no idea what the emotes are or how they operate. It'll be something I figured I'd figure out as time went on. If you want to know what's going on, to start off, you could go back to the beginning of the VOD after we're done. But to give a incredibly short overview, we are retro future, sort of. Very dystopian. Our brother, like, hacked into our brain out of the blue and said, or not our brother, our son, come find me. And we came here to the caller ID that we found, and it was just a dead body missing a head. That's about the world we live in now. They don't want to answer.
KPD, I need to talk to you.
Get away
We're
from me,
so
man.
retro
I
future.
got a piece on me, and I ain't afraid to use it.
No, you don't. Now calm down. I'm just looking for some answers.
Oh, I know how you get your answers. I got nothing to tell you.
Oh, I wonder if they know what I am. I'm also a detective that uses effectively a mind jack mechanic so that I can interrogate people, as we'll find out here in a moment. Because this game is very much like an Amnesia, so they're going to play on the trope of what is reality and what is VR. But, like, we're so fucking retro. Look at this. That's just like an ATM key card there. So we can't have... We can't just have peepholes. Everybody has to have something dug out of the trash.
We hope you're having a positively peachy day.
Oh, we sure do.
Sadly, we're not.
Complain into my Discord for me.
But you can leave your message after the beep, and we'll get back to you as soon as we're home.
Yay! Oh, I mean, beep.
Well, these human beings seem like they're either incredibly drugs or many illegals, and they're covering it up. No, I can't even interact. Oh, right, this is the crime scene we initially went into. It's also very Amnesia and the picking things up. Stop plugging my Discord! People are legit gonna show up and not know what the hell's going on. We'll get there eventually. We also have implants that allow us to see biological things and tech things, and many pills. I've also played the game before, so... God, that's gonna be really weird in the VOD. Go a half an hour, a bunch of people show up, and the flow is broken. So at this point, I think we're only investigating the people out here, because it says we should be trying to find clues, but I thought I scanned everything that was available on the dead body. They have chips implanted that both store all of their memories and serve as their identification. And we're also eventually going to try to figure out who this HR person is, who's the last on the caller ID. So these are the pills we inject.
Synchrosine injected. Strain level
That
decreased.
just fly into our wrist. Because we have implants that eventually will turn us into a vegetable if we do not. Alright, there's got to be something that I'm missing here. I don't think I've scanned you.
Victim is equipped
There it is.
with an ID mixer. Identification not possible. Damn it.
Is that because they're missing their head? Is it damaged? Okay, it's unlicensed hardware. Gotcha. So they're not supposed to look like that. Yes, people aren't supposed to look like they are missing their heads. We have already scanned that. That's right. This instantly shows us what we already have. And I think that's pretty much the rest of the tech stuff to scan in here. Let's see. I'm kind of glad I played this already beforehand. It's been a little while. I played it right when it came out. Yeah, we've already scanned every... Oh, there it is.
The head
We had to scan the laceration.
post-mortem. It's possible the killer took it. Motive unclear.
Oh, yeah. Why would they need to take the head, especially after the person was killed? We got called by this guy. Or hacked into, rather. And, yeah, I think that's the rest of the things that I can scan here. I'm not seeing anything else that's worth scanning. We already got the blood and the scratches that were out in the hallway. Alright, are you going to inform me that we've scanned everything we need now? Found a headless corpse in the... It's still saying that. We'll just continue. Yeah, we've created our own situation, too. How's the mouse control? Like, I don't like playing PC games like this with a keyboard or with a controller, but I also have a tendency to do a lot of whipping around, stopping and staring at stuff. I don't know how well that translates if I have to lower it to 30 FPS. Like, it seems fine, but I'm not the one watching, so... we need to investigate as... we can't get out because there's a lockdown. I should probably stop giving the play-by-play.
What? What do you
Go
want?
back to commentary.
Got a minute,
Value
sir.
added.
KPD.
Oh God, they're here! The cleaners are here!
They think the neurophage broke out. I'm forgetting what the neurophage was in this universe. Obviously, using the word phage makes it sound like it is a biological infection. Could be related to the fact that everyone has VR implanted in their heads now. Nope.
KPD, I need to talk to you.
You broke it! You broke it! Nuh-uh!
Will you get these kids to shut up? I'm fucking talking here. Yeah, what's
I
this
assume he was
about?
trying to talk to his wife. Do you know about the tenant from the crime building?
You know the tenant in apartment 7.
Dad, Tommy's picking on me! Shut up, Smith.
Useful information.
I told you to shut
Amazing.
up. 7, huh? Nah, can't say that I know the guy.
Okay, so it's a guy.
Kind of sounds like Jake the dog.
Yeah, well, seen him once or twice. I might have a vague recollection.
Could you give me a vague description?
Maybe. What's it to you?
I am a police officer.
Police business. Just answer the question, and I'll get out of your face.
So that's how it's gonna be, huh? Why don't you knock on that door and see for yourself?
Can you describe him or not? I don't have time for games.
All right. Younger fellow, probably in his 20s.
Wow. Anything else?
Nah, I never really got a good look at him. Medium height, medium built. He was just kinda there, you know?
That's probably as much as you want anybody to know about you if you are big crimes. Oh yeah, I would imagine there would be some shouting involved if somebody's getting their head torn off.
What? Oh, yeah. You know how kids are.
Oh,
these
we're talking
days.
about his kids.
Do I?
Yeah, you gotta be strict with them, or they'll just walk all over you. Usually, I just sit them down in front of the projectors, keeps them nice and quiet. But they just went and died on cheap American crap.
Wow.
Have you seen anything suspicious around the building?
Is that just like a really cheap shot commentary on
I don't pay much attention
parents
to the
raising
tenants.
children?
Bunch of losers. A lot of 'em.
You are so dumb. Not as dumb as you are. Nuh-uh. You're way dumber.
Shut the fuck up!
Not upstanding.
You bet your ass. Good thing we'll be getting out of this dump soon.
Is that right?
How so?
Yep, I've been working my way up. I even filed for a status upgrade. Once that goes through, we'll be moving to a B-class district in no time.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
I love how the social stratification is quite literally codified. What a future. I brought that up before. The reason I like science fiction more than fantasy. I like both, but science fiction is absolutely more interesting to me because it's about the future as opposed to the past. Fantasy being very much about humanity, morality, where we've been, our history, and our political and geological information and concepts. And then science fiction is dealing with the future almost exclusively. Looks like we got it. Oh yeah. I don't think we actually learned anything about that. We just straight up hack it because, fuck you, I'm a police officer. I don't need a warrant. The hell's a warrant?
Synchrosine selected.
Science fiction deals with trying to look to the future, to think of what might happen so that we can ask the questions and try to come up with answers before we actually get to the problems. Like, if everybody has perfect VR, who's going to put an effort into actually trying to live life anymore? Maybe we should outlaw AI in a certain sense, or put more safeguards on them, so that we don't end up with a Skynet. It might seem silly, but that shit could happen. So, it's just unfortunate we end up in situations like that, where it seems like the guy's not really... Oh yeah, so that maybe we can find some of them. So this is our implant doing the work for us, and later on it'll like hack out some of the codes and we have to try to find the rest of them. I do like the idea of having implanted AR. I don't like the idea of having implanted AR in a world where everything looks like dirty technology. Nobody's home. How about you? You know about the apartment 7? Nope. Like we saw... Okay. Did that look like a motherboard to anyone else? Just vibrating violently on the ground. Oh, it went into this apartment. Oh, and we're hearing whispers now. See, this is... We're already at the point where the game is trying to throw a bunch of sounds, peripheral sounds in, to give you the feeling of schizophrenia. The result of having a mixed up reality where you can't quite tell what's virtual and what's real. And that just gets worse.
Come to the door, please. Just want to talk.
Who are you? Did Chiron send you?
I'm with the KPD, if that's what you're asking.
Seriously? We haven't had a cop around these parts in... ever, I guess.
Well, you've got one now.
Yeah, good luck. You're gonna fucking need it.
And the funny thing is, too, nobody sent us here. We only came here because our son hacked into some dead body to call us. We're gonna go check out that door at the end of the hallway a little bit later. Oh, this is the entrance right here. Yeah, you didn't see it. Oh, he's trying to weld his way out of the lockdown. That man has a replaced brain. Because he lost some of it in the war. It's a lockdown for a reason, you big dum-dum. Why do you need broadcasting mics on boom arms with shock mounts? Like, you don't need that kind of audio quality when you're broadcasting to the Stacks, the worst apartments ever.
Refilled.
Thanks. Alright, nothing else in here. You guys didn't answer my question, though. If the mouse jumping, my means of normally controlling with a mouse, are distracting or not. If you'd prefer I do it with a controller. Probably won't listen anyway, but I don't know. Listen to these goddamn voices. With fire and sword, spiders. With fire and sword, subtitle, spiders. We'll take a guess as to what the hell that is. What's happening? Was that just an episode of... When we originally saw the body, that's when the lockdown started. Because I reported a dead body. So it became an active crime scene. But... we kind of started freaking the fuck out, and visually it tried to pretend like bad things were happening. Like it was trying to visually portray what... Oh, cool. The little spots of things where my vision's trying to ignored. Reasons why not everything can be scanned, because it's deciding for us. I forgot what was in here other than the computer, because I know we have to hack into the computer. In fact, it may even have a Spiders subtitle game. Okay, yeah, so it did look like a motherboard. It's just like a Raspberry Pi. No, it's just like a breadboard. They wired it up themselves. And they've got like a really magic... There's no electric motor on here at all. Unless there's an electric motor inside that block with the batteries. Yeah, I suppose it's thick enough for that. What is the back? Just for the LED lights? We put it back on its side, too. Maybe we're listening to the people... Okay, that's what we fucked out about. There's a fucking dead body in there where the whispering was happening. Remove your implants because of the neurophage. It's very much like Deus Ex. The prequel Deus Exes. Wow, it's impossible to read that font. We needed the subtitle. Good. Alright, let's check out the computer. Don't believe their lies. The plague is still out there. I'm legitimately I forgot what the plague was. Undelivered mail. The following message could not be delivered to one or more recipients. Content blocked by CairoNet Firewall Diagnostic ID. My dear Annie, by the time you read this, I will no longer be among the living. He couldn't send out his suicide note because of the lockdown. Whoops. I'll no longer be among the living. The details are not important. I just know that I want out on my own terms. I won't ask for a proper burial. God knows you don't owe me anything by the time the cleaners are done with this place. I doubt there will be anything left of me to bury. Oh, wow. They were that scared of the cleaners. I guess the neurophage would be problematic, but, like, you can't just take people and put them in a camp to live out their days, unless it's a very, like, aggressive kind of problem that kills people actively, very quickly. Then I suppose it would be humane to kill them quickly, but I don't know. I suppose that's a reason to commit suicide. One way or the other. Inaction is kind of a form of suicide in that situation, too, because you're not trying to survive anymore. Just know that for all my faults, I've always loved you, just like I've loved your mother. When the disease took her, a part of me died that day. Simple displays of affection became a foreign concept, a painful reminder of what I had lost. It does not justify what I've put you through, but it is the truth. I'm so happy you've managed to get out of this hellhole and find somebody worthy of your love. I wish you both all the best. Oh, you know what? That sounds a lot like the neurophage. Sounds like it's just destroying the implant and then, like, potentially the adjacent neurological connections to the implant. So you end up with a vegetable, effectively. Yeah, there's a program. I remember this. Every computer you find as you play through the game, you can do harder and harder levels if you beat the ones on the computers before that. Alright, so how this works is the spiders will start chasing you the moment they see you. And you need the sword in order to go through them. You need all the coins before you can pick up the princess. Oh, whoops. No, we already did one. We need to do two now. And they actually get kind of hard. It took me a while to figure out some of them, because they require a bit of thinking outside of the box. So in this situation, we've got two swords, so we can only kill the spiders in two situations. But if they're all on top of each other, What do you know? They fall on the blade. Easy peasy. I went to Kool-Aid. I know what I'm doing. Alright. I think that's it. We read the suicide note. Oh, maybe I think we're supposed to scan something in here, gather some information on the tenants. Right, use his computer because he's not paying attention. That's right. Scan, please. Take his data. Yep, he was in the war. Our brave boys and girls continue to defend us from the eastern hordes. Are there zombies? Mr. Jorowski, while we all greatly appreciate your exemplary service and the sacrifices you've made for your country, the VRA policy enforces a strictly proactive stance on helping our brave veterans reintegrate with society. Regular coverage requires a deed of permanent B-class employment presented to our representative on an annual basis. Your current janitorial position simply does not qualify. Given these circumstances, we must sadly deny your claim and are therefore forced to terminate your participation in the program, effective immediately. As of today, the Veteran Pension Fund will no longer cover periodic maintenance of your cybernetic prosthetics. We wish you all the best. Wow. Talk about being rewarded for working for your country. Oh, you got half your fucking brain blew out? Well, instead of letting you die, we replaced it. But we're not going to pay to keep it maintained, so you can just slowly dip into sanity for something that we could have prevented. Alright, this has gone on long enough. Veteran or not, I don't give a crap anymore. One more message and I'll find you and beat the fucking junk out of you. My mother can no longer take this shit. She's sick of telling you over and over that her husband, her father, died 18 years ago. She's moved on. We all have. Wow. Again, what thanks? No one wants to live in the past, to constantly relive a tragedy. Admittedly, I had brought up before, having most of his brain replaced with prosthetics, he's going to be a different person. In fact, if enough of it's replaced, he's not really even human anymore. So for the last time, Mike Jorowski is dead. He's been dead for a long time. Have someone type that into that busted-ass head of yours. I don't care how you do it. Just fucking remember this time. And if it's a toss-up between this and remembering when to take a dump, because the text message you send her will earn you a broken fucking jaw. Oh boy. God, that's sad. And it's actually, having played the game, it's setting up something at the end to be a little bit less of a moral conundrum. Whoops, did I spoil something? Budnick, Robert Jorowski. So this is... There we go.
2 agents. Helena Novak, apartment 104, and Hannah Nader, apartment 106. Both on the same floor.
Is it... Again, this voice actor could have been really good. It fits the kind of context here, but it sounds like he's trying not to chew on glass while he's doing his voice acting. And apartment 104, and another, and apartment 106. Living quarters in the basement. Ugh. Gross. Yeah. We're already on number 3. Those bloody spiders again. Alright, let's see. Arrow keys. So as soon as he sees you, he starts chasing. So we can't go into that hallway yet. But we need the sword. Well, we can bring the other one down and around. But we're gonna need all 3 of them. We need to use both swords. Shit. I don't think that's how this one's supposed to work. Because even if we... Oh, whoops. I did not mean this. No. Because the first one you have to get in front of you. Yeah, he starts chasing you immediately. And there's no way to get out without doing that. This one, we can bring in a circle. Pick up the fire. That'll track that one. Downside here... Yeah, as soon as we go anywhere, we're stuck. Huh. I don't remember how to do this one. We need to be able to get more of them together to kill them. Because I can't go up here without getting killed. And I can't go down. I'm just stuck in this endless loop. I did it. I solved the puzzle. I'm pretty sure you actually have to kill all of them as well. Like, even if you manage to make it to the princess without killing them. With one on your tail, you're done. The last spider survives when you get the princess. That's what I thought I remember having solved the problem that way before, but something in my brain is telling me that I was wrong. It might be the case. That sounds like it's correct. I gotta stop pressing the buttons so quickly. I was supposed to collect those coins first. I'm a big dumb. This is uncomfortable. I have a 60% keyboard, so I have to hold down the FN button to use the arrow keys. Okay, that part seems... I never claimed to be very good at video games. Even pressing arrow keys the correct number of times is too difficult. Be like one of those maze RPGs in the past. Alright. You're right, that's how that works. And then we just take the spider for a ride. Hey, you gonna get me? You gonna touch my butt? Looks like I am just as fast as you are. Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Thank you for reinforcing my my beliefs in my own inadequacy. Isn't that sad, though? You fight for your country against whatever the hell you're fighting against, and instead of them letting you die, we have the technology. We bring you back by shoving technology in your head, turning you into something that's not quite human, and because you are no longer...
Get out. You again. Not a good idea to sneak up on me. You know?
How did I turn around and miss him the first time?
I had to check the tenant register.
Authorized personnel only.
I'm very
I was in a
authorized.
hurry, and the door was open.
Authorized personnel only.
Sorry.
Police business. I know what I'm doing.
I know what you are.
Oh, yeah?
Back during war, took one alive. Sent for one of you to get into his head.
I think we've figured out he fought in the war. But yeah, we can mind Jack.
If you're worried I'm gonna snap, don't be. They don't even let us carry guns anymore.
So twice now.
Past worry.
Past most things.
Past most things.
It requires a lot of... Jeez. Requires a lot of mental processing to be able to work through psychological trauma like that. And even in this state, he's managed to move on. But yeah, in the very beginning, this said, he says, I'm not a vegetable yet. I'm taking my meds. And apparently, these Mind Jack entities are commonly turning into vegetables or going insane.
You fought in the big one. Is that why you got all this junk in you?
Plasma sweep. Hit our convoy. Barreled through armor.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring back memories.
Yes. Memories.
I gotta wonder, given how technology had progressed in terms of medical science, like, you can survive with literally just half a brain. It takes a while to regain all of the skills you lost. You lose literally half of your motor skills, half of your memories, basically, half of your skill sets, or like, half of each skill set. It's not split 50-50 down the middle, but pretty much. But you can learn that stuff back again, the same way you learned it the first time. But it seems like he's doing even worse because of the technology they've put in him than he would have been otherwise.
What can you tell me about the tenant in apartment 7?
Tenant?
Yeah, tenant. How long has he been living there?
Yeah. Maybe longer. Not good with time.
You ever talk to him?
Didn't get out much.
Is it gay?
None of them do.
All right, then, man. Let me know if it comes back to you.
He said, I just want the joke to be in the VOD. Even better, you can put each hemisphere in a new body, and then they can learn their way back together.
Something triggered the lockdown.
Trying to get it open. Rudy,
I saw you welding with that camera out there.
You think it might be the nanophage? You had any recent outbreaks?
no. Last one. Long time ago. Down by the river. All the implants. Bad. The implants.
Okay, so the nanophage is explicitly something that deals with implants, but the fact that it's old implants, bad implants that causes it, is that like the biology is influencing the code and then the code becomes a virus?
Can we lift the lockdown from the inside somehow? Or get a message out?
No.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Keep people in.
Because if it was code,
Accommodate, alleviate.
then you wouldn't want to communicate anything, because then you could spread a virus that way through the internet.
Yeah, we all know how that last one used to work. I take it Rudy's the robot.
Multifunction service and maintenance. Drone. Don't lose it.
What?
Wanders off. Sometimes. Need to track manually.
Is that Rudy's shotgun? What the fuck is the name for the literary term for when something is shown? Or movie term. Something is shown, it needs to be brought up again. Or used again. So like we're going to find a mangled robot and what mangled it will have the tracker on it. We could use that to find it or something.
All right.
I legitimately don't remember.
Can you give me full access to the building?
Assistance. Unstable.
Can you only track it half manually?
What I could.
Thanks. You better stay here. There might be some very nasty people out there.
Nasty.
Oh yeah, that word.
Bad.
Look, just stay safe.
He's almost
You know
cute.
what? I never got your name. I'm Dan.
Name. Janus. Like a Roman god. You know.
Sorry I gave you a hard time earlier. Good to meet you. Janus.
Like, I know it might just be because of the fact that the game is using the engine it's using, but either if it was intentionally or not, portraying his mannerisms being effectively kind of almost a vegetable, they did a really good job. It's like forced schizophrenia, which in and of itself, the concept is incredibly terrifying. Also, you can fully manually track it. You just have to hold the tracker with one hand, your fleshy hand. Oh, we can go downstairs already? Alright, let's check our tracker. What are we supposed to be doing? 2 female tenants matching the initials HN. Hannah Nader lives at 106. Alright, so floor 106, floor 104. So we do need to go upstairs, not down, which means that we definitely want to go downstairs first. I'm pretty sure the door is just locked, though. Because of the lockdown? Nope. Shit, we can go downstairs already? There's a beatbox in there or something. Where the hell is the sound coming from? Like, there's nothing. It's just sound. We're going insane. Shit, I forgot we could go into the basement already. This actually happens way later on. And more jump scares. This game doesn't do a lot of jump scares, but it does enough to be frustrating. Okay, this just allows us to go through to one side. A completely untouched rose.
The real deal. Why leave it here?
I've always liked the concept, like in the Blade Runner. Okay, thanks. The door just shut itself. What is reality? He should just have a button that he starts pressing when he starts panicking. It's like it was like a Staples That's Easy button, but it's a what is reality button. And we just keep getting more ambience in the background to imply that, maybe we're already schizophrenic. There's no guarantee one way or the other. Yeah, I didn't realize that before, that they actually set you up as potentially having some insanity going into this. Because I thought it was like you develop it as time goes on, maybe because of the nanophage, or maybe just because that's what video game is. That's how video game do. Alright, so we need to go 106. Oh, wait, can we go outside because of the lockdown? Or was that closed off? No, so there's literally no reason to go downstairs. Look at all these scary boards. Get out of here, boards. Jeez, stinking up the place. They don't even frickin' care. Yeah, they completely set it up. There was twice there that I had missed, where they said that one of me, my kind, we have a tendency to go insane because of the mind jacking. We start to lose the thread of reality. I heard a robot. Oh, it's another helper robot. But he has fallen and cannot get up, and has many graffiti. Can't open the door, though. Whoa. Are we just going to pass it off as the textures weren't loading in because it's a digital photograph? It was literally not loaded in by the time I looked at it. That's funny. And we don't want to waste too much time just wandering around aimlessly. Mostly because of the fact that we do have a limited supply of the Synchrozine. And as much as there's actually no effect of not using the Synchrozine, other than the visual artifacting, that visual artifacting is a pain in the ass. It's just not pleasant to look at. The game is already busy enough. Were the holograms there to begin with? Are we going the crazy? Gotta be fair, though. I absolutely love the design and style for this game. The way that it's presented. Alright, so we need, what, 106 and 104? So that's going to be on the other side of the hallway. Yeah. God damn it. I always hate it when games have menus that don't exit with the escape button. Because it will take me half of the game to remember. So this is the side I need to get into, I believe. Because this is the 100s. Yeah. 106 is going to be over there, so I need to get in from a different stairwell. Which is the one that I think we had already gotten to via going downstairs. How long have we been going? An hour and 13? Alright, I'm gonna go for another like 20-ish minutes, maybe check a room or something, and then I'm gonna take a short break and go get some honey into my throat. Because if I don't, my esophagus and all of the little cords that make noise inside there are gonna get very angry. Sanctuary, right over there. And a church tower. And a tattoo shop. What the hell kind of tattoo parlor requires that you have to go through the entrance to, like, the hotel lobby? Or the apartment lobby to get to? Sounds like a pain in the butt. Alright, I think we can get to floor 1 from this side. Or, yeah. Well, 104 at least here. And then 105 here. It'll let us in from this side? Yeah, because they're outside. So that's one of them I need. Whoop! See you later, birdie. It's okay. I believe in you. You can do it. Some broken hard drives. A very... Oh, I can pick that up. Okay, so that's what a nanophage looks like. I think. Classified. Notes, broken kneecaps, multiple bone fracture. That might just be implants. It might not be the nanophage. Although the whole tryptophobia thing kind of usually implies disease. Which is why you ever run into somebody who has that...
Yo! I can hear you out there. Help me, please.
Oh, good. Stereotyping. The reason why people tend to have that tryptophobia is because of the fact that it tends to yeah, again. I'm pretty sure that's nanophage. Represents disease. Even if it occurs naturally in nature. I mean, you get a bunch of cells that kind of die. Statistically, you're going to end up with pits like that.
What's wrong, sir?
Oh, I heard this awful noise. What's going on?
There's been a lockdown.
A lockdown? No. Oh, God, please, not today.
All right, we'll wait for tomorrow, sir.
Well, what's so special about today?
I was scheduled to undergo a medical procedure. It's a private matter.
My penis, it's not long enough.
Suit yourself.
Are you
Are
in
you
pain?
okay? Sounds like you're in pain.
Oh, it's fine. I'm just... I got a condition. I'm waiting to have it fixed.
The
Anything I
dildo
can
got
do?
stuck.
Sure, if you're an expert in corrective surgery.
Sir, I'm wondering if you've seen anything suspicious lately.
I haven't seen anything in over 40 years.
Ah, that's your condition.
I really don't feel comfortable talking about
It's been 40 years. How don't you?
Fine, I won't waste your time.
Wait, I did hear something. Quiet footsteps, deliberate, heavy breathing, angry, not hiding, hunting.
Huh?
Anything else?
The
Ah,
smell
that was just me getting home
It
with my
seemed,
booze for the night.
oddly familiar.
Well, that's a good idea. I'll
Reminded
get a
me
drink
of
when I
my
take a break.
childhood.
Your childhood?
Yes, my family lived outside the city with all manner of creatures.
Hmm.
When it would rain, the smell would be similar.
The creature smells like creatures and rain. Gotcha. So apparently we have not only do we have implants to do sciencey stuff, we potentially also have implants, fucking furry implants. So maybe there's a monster human running around. Oh boy, aren't you excited for that? What is this? Why is there a window to the wiring? Why is that necessary? Must have been like an after-the-fact jerry-rigged kind of situation. Ooh,
KPD.
bank cards.
I'd like to ask you some questions.
Certainly, officer. Always glad to do my civic duty.
Oh man, this guy's on drugs.
You seem pretty laid back. You do know the building is under lockdown.
Well, yes, but there's not much I can do about it, is there? I mean, I'm sure the authorities are handling the situation as we speak. Come to think of it, isn't that why you're here?
Literally the first person. It's like, oh, the cops are gonna show up. Wait, you're the cops. We could lie to him, but he seems smart.
Well, you might be giving the authorities too much credit.
Officer, please. It's highly demoralizing to hear that kind of talk from a man of the law. Now,
Well, somehow you've
is
made
there
it this
anything else I
far
can
in
help
life.
you with?
Seen or heard anything suspicious lately? Neighbors acting weird?
Actually, I did hear some noises coming from 104. Then the woman stormed out of the apartment and ran off.
Did you see where she went?
Well, no, I didn't actually see her. I could smell her, you see.
Smell her?
Don't tell
Oh,
me
yes.
you can't. That cheap crap she pours over herself.
There it
Holy
is.
reeks of it. She probably thinks it makes her seem ladylike.
I see.
You're just angry because she didn't have sex with you, but she did with
I could hear her
everybody
panting,
else.
Too, moaning like the horse she
Yep.
is.
You did, huh?
Nice guys.
Yeah, biggest fucking cock tease you've ever seen. Always toying with me, bending over when reaching for the lock, all naked underneath her clothes. She knows I'm watching too. Likes to make me itch, cooped up with that junky meathead. I mean, what does he have that I don't? They're all like that, you know? Fucking mongoloid bitch. Now I hope she gets what she fucking deserves, so that she knows she's fucked up. She'll have no choice but to come to me, begging. But it'll be too late, you hear me? Too late!
Every human being we've just shut up.
Hey, how about you shut the fuck up?
It sounds like he's
That's
trying to stifle
certainly
back a
uncalled
laugh.
for. Good day to you, officer.
Woo! The sad thing is, out of all of the people that we've run into so far, this is probably one that actually exists. Hey, did you know that you're naked under your clothes? I had no idea. The kind man has informed us.
KPD, I'd like to have a word.
It's about time you showed up. What the hell is going on? Why are we under lockdown?
Is that the
Most likely
Colonel?
a malfunction. I'm still looking into it.
you ain't looking in the right places. Because I don't know nothing.
Noticed
Maybe he's
anything
just anime.
suspicious or unusual? Other than the lockdown, I mean.
Well,
There's you.
the couple from 104 were making an awful lot of noise a while back. More than usual, I mean. The girl ran off, and then it got quiet.
Did you see where she ran off to?
I ain't one to snoop. But, judging by the footsteps, I'd say she ran down to the courtyard.
Anything else you can tell me about them?
What? The couple? Don't know them that well. The girl seems nice enough. Not sure about the guy, though.
Yeah, the guy's a druggie, so. I guess we gotta continue the investigation. Be a good old,
She's a trooper.
good boy.
Works double shifts at Chiron to support that ex-con asshole of a husband.
Any idea what she might be doing for them?
Can't be too important, or she wouldn't be living in this shithole. Explains the look on her face, though.
What do you mean by that?
It's a good question.
Fidgety, jumping at shadows. Working for the corporation has that effect, I guess.
Chiron's presented itself as kind of being like the I have a majority share in the government kind of corporation in this universe. I forget exactly what they produce. I know they're involved in the implants that I have and a lot of VR stuff.
Tell me about the guy.
Amir? I think he's called. He looks tough, but he's got the yellow eye, you know? Twitches like a junkie. Probably sells the shit, too.
How do you know that?
What, the dealing? I seen him sneak around during the night, carrying packages and stuff. I doubt he's the goddamn postman.
Is this kind
So he's
of
still
stuff
doing
happen
his
often?
illegals,
You
his
ever see
crimes.
your husband gets violent.
Nah, he ain't a wife beater or anything like that. He's just messed up. Then again, ain't we all?
Anything else out of the ordinary? Anything at all?
Well, other than some asshole bringing
Yeah, there's animals
into
again.
the building, I'd say that's pretty much it.
Animals?
Yeah, I could swear I heard something growling in the hallway earlier. I'd inform the janitor, but he'd lose the plot midway through the talk anyway.
Thanks.
What a place to live.
Very helpful.
That's new.
That last part kind of sounded like Mark Hamill. I'm beginning to think that everybody that was brought in to do voice acting for this game was given instructions to try to sound as unreal and stifled as possible. Like, none of these people sound like human beings. Oh, look, blood. Huh. That's probably not a good thing.
Anyone here?
Well, it sounds like somebody's about to not be here
Chiron
anymore.
Corporation ID. Low-level clearance, but still valid.
Programmer. Okay. Yeah, so involved in the VR stuff. Anything important over here? I can scan the ID card, but other than that, nothing. Alina Nowak, Chiron Junior Programmer, level F. I don't see anything else. I should probably scan that blood in the doorway. Scan?
Still fresh.
Traces of controlled substance 45F detected. That's feed, isn't it? Why would traces of feed be in the blood? Is that supposed to be a drug? Because it made it sound like it was like a food substitute. Doesn't look like there's anybody else in here. But this is the druggy boyfriend. Yeah? Your neck seems fine.
I'm here to help.
Your intestines are kind of falling out. Let's not try to get into the hospital or anything. Let's just investigate this problem right now. Our son is more important than his life. Helpful. Like, you don't look like you have long... Well, no, actually, those might be puncture wounds as opposed to just scratches on his chest there. Because this is gonna be painful, but you can still breathe. You'll still have thoracic cavity pressure, so you'll be able to fill your lungs if you've got your abdomen punctured like that.
Dispatch, this is Lazuski 656210. I got an emergency here.
We tried that before. There is a lockdown. Remember?
Damn it. Still no connection.
Good job, old man. Oh shit, you know the lockdown happened as soon as we entered the place? The whole thing could just be a dream.
Listen to me. The
I
building's
hate
on
that
lockdown.
trope.
There's no way I can help you now. But I can get whoever's responsible for this if you help me find him.
He can't make eye contact with us.
There's another way.
You're gonna do that on a dying man? So, yep. Electromagnetic vision so we can find his implant. Analyze the neural implant. It is experiencing an error. Where am I getting this? Am I carrying around this full database of information in my head? Because we don't have, like, we're on lockdown. We can't download information unless they just turn off upload and we can download fine.
Subject approved.
But if that were the case, we'd know why there was a lockdown. I imagine the horror imagery is because we're jacking into somebody who's dead as opposed to alive. Or sorry, somebody who is experiencing some extreme suffering. So the first instance of this being VR scape is one. I moved. We don't have access to any of our special visions. And we don't have access to the middle mouse button click to check if we've got quests or whatever. And then obviously shit like that happens.
I'm home.
Okay. Oh, wait, we walked out of his memory of his apartment into the hallway. And I imagine this is supposed to be an artistic impression of, like, other memories bleeding into the memories that I'm trying to access. It's impossible to pinpoint exactly one memory without kind of pinging other memories while you're doing so, because of how interconnected the brain is. So it's making us walk through a variety of hallways as we try desperately to get to where we want to go. That was cool. So he was a convict, right? He went to prison. So this is his memory of being in prison. Counting the days on top of the music, implying that there was a, big ol' emotional reaction to that memory. Because, fuck being in prison. This is part of the apartment, I believe. The water turns off whenever we get near it. Is that supposed to represent something? Do we have to close the door behind us in prison? No, we can't even do it. Alright, so the entrance door is locked. You can't special... I had to try to touch the window? Okay, so then it just starts screwing it up. Oh, you know what? This is probably him dying. He's in the process of dying, and attempting to access his memory has become somewhat difficult. So now everything's kind of fucky. Many, many, many more days of being in prison. Hey, we did it. We're finally home. The bird kills itself on the window. Couldn't tell you what that is. But I can tell you we're here now. I love that non-Euclidean space. Oh, it's just going to keep doing it to us. So we turned around once, and that got rid of the wall, and we turned around again, and this is the way we're supposed to go. Because now the window's gone. Oh! I'm vaguely remembering something from before. I think this has something to do with him being experimented on by Chiron while he was in prison. Because I imagine VR is probably a good way to pacify your prisoners. I mean, you're pacifying the normal population. Doing it to your prisoners would be probably even more humane than keeping them locked up in a single door. It says go right, so we're gonna go left. We're not supposed to be here. God, I absolutely love this idea behind mindjacking. It's not an exact science, which is why you end up having so many, like, performers of the mindjack going insane, because they have to mix so heavily into this hellscape that you have to have an incredibly strong
What the fuck, man?
disconnect between your reality and this reality. God, I love this. This is so cool. Various other memories bleeding through in TV screens. It also can play on some of the tropes of being in a dream, where things are just kind of not quite tangible. Sometimes the rules of physics don't act the way they're supposed to in a dream. This looks like our prison cell, maybe. No. Yeah, sounds like we're being made fun of by prison guards, maybe. Oh. You know what that is? That's the animal noise of the thing that probably just killed us. The thing we're trying to find. Which is funny because we want to see that thing, and yet, as the player character being in first person right now, it scares the hell out of you. Again, another memory of prison bleeding back in. That's the thing that killed him? Oh. I think I vaguely remember this. This is the same room we were literally just in. And the television tells us which door we need to go into. So the one with the trash can. Is that right? Yeah, with the one with the 2 trash cans next to it. And now, we need to go in the one with the shelving and the chair next to it. This one. Now, the one with the blinky yellow light. Which is this one. Now the one with all of the circuitry next to it. And then we just go into the TV. I'm having fun. Oh, I didn't even see that. I haven't quite made up my mind how I want to handle follows and donations and whatnot as they happen in the future. But I'm not going to point out lurkers, but I'm going to say thanks for following there. You know who you are. I'm going to go take a short break and come back with some tea and probably a White Russian. Because that's what I feel like tonight. And then we'll play for another probably hour. See you in a sec. Death button.